Record closes coming in across the board in here for your NASDAQ and your spiders. We're going to see how these cyclical stocks start to react to this now that it seems that we're becoming overexhausted now, but we're on decent volume pretty much everywhere. Everybody's kind of hedging to the downside in here. That's a healthy market, right? So everything keeps on climbing up, but everybody starts to hedge to the downside. That's what we want to see. So we're going to see how these stocks start to react to things in here as we get up, especially with Carnival. Now we've basically recovered all our losses that we lost in here from that big drawdown that we had back in early April. So where does that kind of put us here on the weekly chart? You can see this nice big green candle in here. Where is that, or why did that happen? Because here on the daily chart, you can see that we had that gap up from Monday into Tuesday off of those earnings. And then obviously just good news ever since. And you had that big 3% move in here today. So where does that currently put us? We're right in between this 27.21 and this 23.23 mark. We're getting closer to that 27. That is going to be the area that we're going to watch in here. 27, that's your magic number in here. That's your level. If we can breach through that, then nice whole numbers on the way up, 28, 29, 30. But if we cannot breach that, then we're going to be back down. We're going to be looking at 23.23 for a good spot for us on our support in here. That's where our 9-day EMA is here on the weekly chart. So this 23 is going to be a solid support for us. If this does perhaps happen to breach, then we still have a gap down here we have to worry about filling at $20 mark, but then really 19.0 or 19.1, that is going to be a support in here that we're going to watch as well. But 23.23 should be holding for us in here just because that's where that 9-day EMA is set up shop. It was a nice support for us here and here, and then a little bit of a resistance back in October. If we go to the daily chart yet again, you can kind of see exactly where your volatility kicked in, and you can see this move you had in here and how far away we're running away from this 9-day EMA. So that is all in all good news, but we're going to see how these stocks start to kind of react to the overall markets in here. Just because that we're closing out record highs now doesn't mean that we're going to stay up there. But again, it's looking pretty healthy all around, but everybody's starting to kind of hedge to the downside basically overall. But that is normal. That is what you want to see, right? That's how you want your skews to always be, to hedging your risk to the downside. So we'll see what happens in here for Carnival. All in all, 3% move on the day. 27 is the magic number in here. 23 is going to be your big footing in here for your max loss and your max pain for another drawdown. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.